for the job. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everybody. America's Third Party is here for you. 2020 has, when I was a child in the 60s, I thought, wow, when it turns 1976, it's going to be a big year. And that was so long ago. It was fun. Well, here now, so let's just make this the best possible decade ever. What do you think? Let's get rid of all the fencing around all the FEMA camps in America, so we won't be able to hold anybody in. We shouldn't have concentration camps like Hitler had back in the 1930s. That's got to come down. And we can use that fencing to put at the border with Mexico that Trump can't seem to build because he's inept. Yeah, let's do that. That's one of my big plans, is to remove the fencing around FEMA camps and put it at the border. And also build that amazing container fence, because Trump will never build it. This idea I came up with last year, that prior to that, in 2008, I had the 1,000-mile fence idea. And this past year, we came up with this idea. Team effort. It would be affordable. It could be done for $1 billion. That'd be amazing. But Trump can't think out of the box. That's the problem. Hey, let's start the show. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to America's Third Party. I am David Sponheim, and we are pitching the container fence idea on this amazing new year of 2020 to protect our country from dangerous 1 million people arriving at the country's border, and now people are treating Mexicans as though they're lesser human beings under Trump. They're not getting the proper treatment at the border. Many people are suffering from a concentration camp environment at the border. This would eliminate that. We'd have the ability of people to actually we'd have the ability to have laundromats, carnicerias. We would have the problem with the border people waiting for asylum handled. But you think Trump wants to do that? No. He just wants to use the idea of a fence, call it a wall. Oh, we're going to build a 1,000-mile wall. Well, I was the one that measured the distance we need to cover, 1,000 miles. I did it in 2008. And I'm the person on record to have talked about this idea with the 1,000 mile in mind before anybody else in the country. And I still support this idea. I still believe it's going to be a very important plan for securing the border, protecting us from a rising population in Mexico. If you're a Democrat and you think, well, we shouldn't have borders, they're growing at 31%. We're growing at 5%, not because people are having kids. Sarah and I aren't having kids. A lot of people aren't having kids. It's because illegals are coming in here trying to take over our country. So we can't just let that happen, okay? So Trump is going to move aside. He'll probably resign this year because he's failed. We've entered phase 2. 2020 is going to call Donald Trump inept, incompetent, unable to actually fulfill his goals because he's been so divisive. He's been such a stubborn, divisive person, tweeting all the time. And that's all he does still to this day. And to top that off, his wife humiliated him. Yes. I think it's kind of funny what she said. You read about this? On New Year's, Melania humiliated Donald when Donald corrected her after embarrassing New Year blunder. Melania Trump was reined in by her husband Donald and embarrassed into silence after the U.S. president corrected her peace on the world New Year's resolution blunder. That's right. She said that she wanted peace on the world. I think it means peace on the world, you know? Let's check it out.
What did you get Mrs. Trump for Christmas this year?
Oh, that's a tough question. Well, I really should say a very beautiful card. You know, I'm working on a lot of things. I got her a beautiful card that actually I had a number of them picked, and I picked the nicest one. A lot of love, and we love our family, and we love each other, and we've had a great relationship, like you do, hopefully, with your spouses. We've had a great relationship. And I think I'll answer that by saying I'm still working on a Christmas present. Is that okay? There's a little time left. Not too much, but there's a little time left.
That's nice. Well, this is what he said. The First Lady was asked by a member of the press for her New Year's resolution, to which she responded by saying, "Peace on the world," after the U.S. president immediately corrected his wife and explained to her that New Year's resolutions are not to be said aloud, while also praising his own resolution. He said, "But I can tell you, we really have a good resolution, and it's a resolution for our country." So they're going to peace on the world. I'm so glad that they're together. You know, aren't they meant for each other? Aren't they a lovely couple? You know, he calls her it. Yeah, he refers to her as it. I don't know, man. If a man cheats on his wife, he should at least admit it. And Donald Trump doesn't even have the decency to admit he had sex with Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. And God knows how many other people during their relationship. Is that really the kind of person we want, as a man who won't even admit his infidelity? Remember Bill Clinton openly saying, "I never had sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky"? Remember that? Well, we know he had oral sex with her, or she had oral sex with him. Well, we've been dealing with liars for a long time. Apparently, America is so used to it that they've established it's okay to lie in the White House. It's okay to do everything you want behind closed doors. Hell, we don't even know what's going on between him and Carolyn Sunshine. That's right. Trump has an assistant named Carolyn Sunshine. Many of you don't even know that. She's like 22 years old or so, was a YouTube Disney star. She is his press assistant. If I were in the Oval Office trapped there with Donald Trump, with no cameras, I'd be a little worried myself, especially the way he treated his wife, cheating on her without even admitting what an adulterer he is. Poor Carolyn Sunshine. I wouldn't want that job of press assistant.
2020. 2020. 2020.
2020. He does like pretty young things. Remember his previous press as his director of communications, Hope Hicks? She wasn't exactly bad to look at, if you know what I mean. I mean, gosh. She spent a year and a half in the White House during the early days of this impeachment process, the investigation time. She's quite a looker. Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how difficult that was. And, you know, she said that she had to lie all the time for Donald Trump. Yeah, she's pretty brunette, pretty blonde, pretty brunette. She said she had to lie all the time for Donald Trump. And you retardicans still think that Trump doesn't lie. When every single person who's been interviewed said, oh yeah, he lies all the time. I agree, the Democrats are liars. I agree. And I think Nancy Pelosi is corrupt as it gets. I think Joe Biden's got corruption issues too with this thing with Hunter Biden. And I'm glad the Republicans are trying to roll Joe over the coals. But I have to ask you, retardicans, how come Donald Trump has not pursued anything against Joe Biden? How come William Barr hasn't filed a single charge against Joe Biden or Hunter? Why? If he's really trying to stop the deep state, how come he hasn't charged Hillary Clinton with money laundering or some such thing regarding the Haitian involvement with the Clinton Foundation? $5.4 billion missing, gone. Didn't go to the Haitian people. How come Trump isn't doing that? How come Trump isn't suing or at least charging Elizabeth Warren with a crime for perjury, for lying about her Cherokee ancestry, when we know now, after Trump took my idea of getting her a DNA test and called it his own, he didn't follow up on it. And now we have Elizabeth Warren acting like she does nothing wrong except lies incessantly. How come Trump isn't doing that? How come Trump isn't charging Ilhan Omar with a crime? We found out recently that she was paid by Qatar to get elected in her home state. Qatar, the country. Foreign countries paying for U.S. Muslim legislators. Yeah, Ilhan Omar needs to be charged. Plus, I heard she married her brother to make him a U.S. citizen. That's a penalty. Trump isn't doing anything, people. If you're wondering why we've got a lame duck president, it's because he's lame and he's a duck. And it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And he steals my ideas, yeah. I don't even make a big deal about the fact that Trump took over 15 of my ideas, aside from the 1,000-mile fence. He's done a lot of bad things, and he won't even admit it. And I'm sorry to say that many of the Republicans who are clinging to the hope that Trump is your savior, he's been riding on my good ideas. He's been building his entire BS story about how he's going to help the country off of what I came up with. You know who came up with his slogan? I did. Keep America Great. I'm on record on my video show coming up with the words, keep America great, way ahead of Trump. When he started using the old saying, make America great, it was actually used by Ronald Reagan. It was used by Andrew Jackson. But then I came up with the original term, keep America great, and he stole it. Now he's using it as his plan for 2020. So I have a new slogan, a new America. That's my new slogan. Because we are going to be looking at a new America, whether we like it or not. Our leaders are not standing up against the terrible human trafficking that's going on in the world. You hear nothing from Donald Trump regarding China and the organ harvesting that's going on. I really think we need to tie our current trade talks with China. We need to tie in a resolution for Hong Kong and an end to the kind of reckless organ transplants that are going on in China. These are the new human rights issues that have to be discussed. We can't even focus on the old ones because they're like so incidental. When you hear about people who've been from the Falun Gong people who've actually had their organs removed and then killed summarily, all these people being tortured, it just turns my stomach to think that we're trading with a country and giving them First Nation trading status when they are doing that to their own people. How can we possibly continue down that road of a trade agreement? Now, I was not planning on imposing any sanctions other than an economic sanction or any type of a trade tariff, like an economic trade tariff or an ecological trade tariff. I was planning on that a long time ago, but I'm way past that now. I'm really beginning to wonder what kind of trade we can have with a nation that is engaged in torturing their own people, worse than North Korea. And now the social credit system they're imposing upon the Chinese people, 58% of the Chinese people say they don't want it in polls. China doesn't poll them. They get independent polling agencies to contact these people secretly because they don't have freedom of speech in that country. So I'm beginning to wonder if it's in our best interest to have continued trade with China at all. if Donald Trump continues to put a trade barrier in front of China and doesn't tie it to human rights, he's missing a very important opportunity. But if he gets trade rolling with China, then we have to sort this out later. We'll do it then. I'm not in any way trying to destroy trade with China, but we need accountability from China to assure that they are not killing off their people and harvesting their organs recklessly. I can see capital criminals having their organs harvested. I get that. But you can't just call everybody a capital criminal even though they're not. So I'm really kind of keen on this issue, and I want everyone to know that human trafficking and organ harvesting go hand in hand. And last night we did a video where there was credible stories about how people are disappearing in America, homeless people. And you're not going to believe this, but they're being shipped to China for organ harvesting. I can't verify this. But I can tell you there are very strange things going on, and I exposed this on our show. Very strange indeed. You can measure the dark space by the missing area in something. Well, there's a missing area when it comes to the FEMA barges. Remember how they came into the shores off Galveston and they helped people deal with Hurricane Harvey and other places? Well, these FEMA barges are all over the place. They pop into the shore area whenever there's major disasters, hurricanes or whatnot. And nobody has any social messages from any of these barges. There's not one person on a barge who said, "Hey Mom, I'm here on the barge. I'm really happy because we're safe on the barge and we're getting nice hot showers." And there's not one single video footage of any social network. Instagram has nothing. Twitter has nothing. Nothing. So we have to assume that if these barges have been put in place, they were used to carry bodies to China for organ harvesting. Yeah, we have to assume that. Where did the people go? Or maybe they were organ harvested right there on the FEMA barge. Where did the people go? Welcome to 2020, where we got bigger questions than you could even begin to look at. David Stern has died. The legendary, David Stern, legendary basketball chairman, former NBA commissioner David Stern is now dead. He stood through some tumultuous times with the NBA and had a very prestigious career. Dead at the age of 77. Wow. I don't believe in Bigfoot or Loch Ness per se, although I have questions. I do believe there may be some throwbacks still alive on this planet from a long time ago. You know that there have been sightings of a pterodactyl up in Alaska? I can't even confirm that. It could have been a large eagle. If $6 Million Man took a battle against Bigfoot, who would win? I'm going to put my support on the $6 Million Man. Steve Austin versus Bigfoot. And we have that for you tonight in our video segment after 10 o'clock. That's really good that you got me the link. Thank you. I was going to say, I think Steve Austin could handle him. So I'll take on the Bigfoot story later tonight. And he really did challenge Bigfoot. Look at that. Wow. All right. Sounds good. Stone Cold Steve Austin. One night in Bangkok made you very, very humble. Wow. What is your name? David Carradine or something? There are no strip joints in China. Money grip. You're lucky to be living in America where we can even talk about these things. We couldn't talk about FEMA barges in China. I'd have my doors broken down. They'd pull me out of the house and cuff me and send me to re-education camp, and they claim I was a Falun Gong member and they harvest my organs. Yeah, I don't trust that. What's going on in China is very suspicious. Okay, we now have some anti-Clinton stuff and anti-Obama stuff in a meme. Let's take a look at that. Hey, welcome people who are against the Democrats, and welcome people who are against the Republicans. We have a third party in the formation here. Our founding fathers would have hung them for treason. I know. Uma Abedin, Sally Yates, all these people, Rice, Susan Rice, Holder. I don't know. I'm beginning to think that Trump is just as treasonous. You Republicans don't realize that Trump is taking orders from the Zionist elitists? We talked about them in our pre-show. Yeah, we have concern that the Zionist elitists are controlling Trump through Russian oligarchs. And they're using AIPAC to control the Democrats. Biden is an AIPAC supporter. Buttigieg is an AIPAC supporter. Elizabeth Warren is an AIPAC supporter. And they're all Zionists. And we're being hosed down right now on multiple networks. The more I talk about the truth of how the Zionists are trying to take over our country and doing the bidding of Israel, I like Israel. I like Jewish people too. But I don't like doing their bidding. And I don't think U.S. foreign policy should be Zionist foreign policy. And that's where I'm kind of old-fashioned. And if you are too, you'd want to get the money and all the corporate interests out of our government. That's why you'd want to vote for me in the upcoming election. Okay, we got some good links to talk about tonight. Mosquito Tabasco commercial. Okay. I can't play that, otherwise I'll monetize me, but I'll add it to our show tonight. Thanks. Oh yeah, so we have a few things we can talk about. Prime Minister Netanyahu's asking for immunity from corruption charges. I find that kind of funny. Well, he's been charged with Foodgate and Gasgate. Apparently his wife had a caterer had a chef who decided to cater an event on the dime of the taxpayer. He's asking for a reprieve on that one, and also the gas pipeline program that his son talked to the son of another gas pipeline manager and claimed that this whole deal went down between his dad and Netanyahu. That's called Gasgate, Foodgate and Gasgate. In the interest of Israel's long-term preservation, they probably should move on. So maybe they are going to give him immunity from corruption charges. I don't know. But it seems like their gates are so small compared to ours. Now we've got Trump Ghazi. Our Baghdad offices were attacked yesterday. They're calling it Trump Ghazi. Trump allegedly is sending troops into Baghdad, beefing up our forces there to deal with the embassy problem. I don't know if Trump Ghazi is going to fly, but it was something they were pitching on YouTube yesterday. Whitney Houston's daughter's ex-fiance died of an overdose. Nick Gordon. We all know that Whitney Houston... Wow. Yeah. Whitney Houston had a daughter who died of a similar injury, like drowning. The ex-partner of that daughter, the late Bobby Christina Brown, has died. He was 30 years old. Gordon's attorney, Joe Hibachi, confirmed his client's death in a statement. The Atlanta attorney did not give a cause of death. Bobby Christina's ex-partner, Nick Gordon, dies at 30 years old. Wow. There he is. This is the guy that was with her through thick and thin. You got to wonder if this isn't some sort of an Illuminati hit against Whitney Houston, her daughter, because of the strange circumstances of her death being so similar to her mother's. And now her close advisor and friend, former boyfriend, is now dead. Wow. Thanks, Sir Farts a lot. Yeah, you got to wonder, the mob rules. Luke Skypescocker. Are you working for the Queen? Is that what you're doing? Tiddly D says, mark my words, unless there's a recession or some huge scandal, Trump will be reelected. You know, I agree that if Trump doesn't resign in the next year, and I still think he will, but if Trump doesn't, I believe that unless Joe Biden wins the nomination and he chooses a very strong vice president like me, I don't think Trump in any way could stand a chance. I think Trump would win. I agree. Because it was Trump versus Pete Buttigieg, I think that you'd be looking at Trump winning. The American people are not ready for an openly gay man as a president. They already had a secretly gay man as a president with Barack Obama. Well, getting rid of the Illuminati monsters involves making sure that puppet candidates like Pete Buttigieg is not elected. Pete Buttigieg is a McKinsey, a public relations scam. They're trying to push him as some sort of a PR scam. The company that he can't talk about for 3 years, that's what Pete Buttigieg is. They're trying to appeal to all the Democrats to say, well, we had an openly black man, now we can have an openly gay man. And there are a lot of Democrats that'll do that. Seriously. They'll vote because they have like this extreme white guilt. They don't want to in any way be prejudiced against anybody. Peter Buttigieg. And he uses the Bible to defend his sex acts with men. Isn't that sick? Yeah, he actually thinks the Bible approves of gay sex. You know, if you're going to be gay, why don't you just be an atheist? What's this obsession with approval by God? Face it, you don't have approval from God based on biblical terms, Pete. So don't run around professing to be biblical. Yeah, nothing wrong with loving Jesus and being gay. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's no written proof that God approves. You're running on your own credentials. When you make it to St. Peter's Gate and he says, we've got a lesbian here. You're off to purgatory, lady. Okay, we got this gay guy here. You're off to purgatory. You might win your favor back with St. Peter through your own timing. I mean, look at Juan Gabriel. He's in purgatory right now, and just because he has a penis and claims to be a woman, he's going to make it in. Yeah. I think God will be kind, but I'm not here to speak for God. But the Bible is. Yeah, so we had a lot of Juan Gabriel people who support him. And he was a wonderful man, very gay. Some people claim he was a woman. But bottom line is he passed away, and now we can just look at him and go, you know, you're brilliant. You had a great voice. You will stand on your own merits, sir. And that may be true about Peter Buttigieg. But the fact is, people can do whatever they want. I'm not God. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be burning in hell because you're gay. The Bible does that. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. 5 missing after crab fishing boat sinks off Alaska. You know, it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Crabbing. I'd hate to have the crabs and be in a crab boat, at the same time. You imagine itching your crotch the whole time? If they call the deadliest catch. You're right, Luke, Skype stalker. Yeah, crabs on a crab boat would be worse. But no, now 5 people are missing, 2 rescued after the crab boat sinks. This is a very dangerous job. And a lot of people from up here actually die on these crab vessels, crabbing. They come from Washington oftentimes, and they go up there, and the waters are just unbelievably dangerous. And you get on the deck, and if you fall off, it's overtime. Fox News headline. It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. We played that already, Johnny. We're adding it to Johnny. We added that. We added that to tonight's run. Yeah. 6 mil wins. That's right. Fox News headlines. Iran-backed militiamen withdraw from the siege of a U.S. embassy in Baghdad as more American troops are deployed. The siege outside of the U.S. embassy in Baghdad came to an end after pro-Iranian militiamen withdrew from the compound. The 2-day crisis started when demonstrators stormed the embassy compound protesting the deadly U.S. airstrikes. And here we didn't even know about airstrikes. That targeted an Iran-backed militia that killed 25 fighters. Wow. Those strikes were in response to a rocket attack on an army base that killed a U.S. contractor and injured many American troops. Captain America actress charged with second-degree murder of mother. Wow. Molly Fitzgerald, an actress who had a small role in Captain America, the First Avenger, is being accused of stabbing her mother to death in Kansas. Fitzgerald, age 38, was arrested in charges of second-degree murder. Wow. In Captain America, she played Stark Girl and worked as an assistant to the director Joe Johnston. Okay, Idaho cold case of outlaw missing since 1916, solved by DNA genetic genealogy. Interesting. Well, thanks, Fox. They helped investigators solve a century-old Idaho mystery. Outlaw Joseph Henry Lovelace was killed and dismembered in 1916 and buried in a shallow grave in Buffalo Cave outside Du Bois. At the same time, Lovelace was wanted for escaping from a jail where he was being held for killing his wife with an axe. Investigators obtained DNA from Lovelace's 87-year-old grandson to confirm the remains were those of the outlaw. Okay. A dragon horn from a man's back was removed. Yes, a 5-inch dragon horn. A UK man baffled doctors after a 5-inch cancerous dragon horn sprouted out of his back, having no history of dragons in his family. While most cases are surgically nipped in the bud, this patient had allowed his tumor to blossom for 3 years. A dragon horn out of his back. Nice to know. A loveless killer found after 89 years. Boy, these Fox News stories are just getting more and more meaningless as time goes on, you know. Have they watered Fox down to like Sean Hannity and his football? They got rid of all the good people at Fox. I know. A dragon horn out of his back. And here you thought you were human. Huh. Wow. Boy, did they have you deceived. Well, let's be clear. We've got pictures of some imposters that appeared in the past 2016 election. Can Hillary explain this? I know. Now, I don't know. I think Hillary has a replacement. I'm just going out on a limb there to say, yeah, the woman on the far side is a replacement. Just thought I'd share you. And of course, Donald Trump is ready for action, and he's got a real good support system with Vladimir Putin, his best friend, inviting him to visit the Kremlin and possibly be a good Russian ambassador to America. Very nice for Donald to be a good president for you people, making you think that you own your country. Donald Trump, a good puppet for 2020. And Sarah is in the room. Yeah. Welcome. And you can take over my position. I'll move my chair out of position and you can take over. Yes. Yowza, yowza, yowza.
Hello, it's 2020. Wow, it's weird.
It is. It's strange, isn't it? Yeah.
It does feel a little strange.
We're really moving along, aren't we?
Did we get in?
Oh, I didn't open it up. Sorry. I'm usually unable to do that.
I know. I always say I'm always the one that I'm looking out for the YouTube chatters. Brilliant idea. Brilliant. Thank you, Senator. I'm always like, did you open up the YouTube chat? No, he did not. So, I always have to open it up, and then, I don't know, last night when I opened it up, I think it was just wonky. It was like, chat is disabled for this one. Let's see if it says that now. Have to open it up and then oh, I can buffering. Hello, non-Fiskian. I'm not buffering now, but I'm just finally live. Finally, I can see your chat. Thanks for watching at Is that supposed to be fiction? Physician? Fiction? I don't know. Today was dead for work. You went home after $25 in 4 hours. I'm sorry. It is a holiday. I wish you could just be at home and then they could call you if they needed you. I already broke my New Year's resolution. I was going to wake up this morning and drink 3 cups of water before I drank anything else. Oh, that's good. And anyway, when I woke up and I drank 1 cup of water, well, Amber woke us up at like 6:30. She just wanted to make sure, hey, do you need to go to school today? I'll be your alarm clock, cat, and wake you up. And David wasn't happy. Thanks, Dawn. And anyway, then is it 1992 calendars that work great for 2020? Oh, personals call you on the phone. That's good. Did I drink? I did not drink any alcoholic beverages last night. I only drank hot chocolate. And David drank coffee. I realize this is the first New Year's Eve that I didn't like even get. Usually I get like Martinelli's sparkling apple cider or sparkling something. And I didn't even do that. I was just like, whatever. So. You're at Disneyland for New Year's Eve? Nice. Fun. I did not get drunk. I did not drink anything, so I did not get drunk. And you got sick while you were at Disneyland. That's not fun. I played a little bit of the London fireworks. Are you guys lagging? All right. I waited until it was super packed. You waited until midnight, made an effort to be there even though you were sick. That's good. Hello, Money Grip. Looks okay on your end. Yeah, I played a little of the London fireworks and that's it. Scotland had 10 guys in kilts spinning with large balls on fire for some reason, but no fireworks. I thought of going. We did have like fireworks at 9 p.m. in our local town, but I chose not to go down there because it was like raining all day. David and I did go out to eat yesterday. We went out to lunch, so that was good. I know. Well, I'm hoping that, like, that's my other. I probably should start going to bed at 9 o'clock, like now. Maybe I should go to bed at, like, 9 o'clock and then do, like, lights out and just maybe, like, listen to a book on tape, maybe, and then wake up at 11 o'clock. And spend an hour with David and then go back to bed at 12 or something. Oh, you see the fireworks from your window, but 10 p.m.'s your limit. Yeah. Here, I'll give you links to them. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for saying Sponheim 2020. All right. You go to bed at 11 p.m. at the latest, but you're up at 5 a.m.? Yeah, that's the thing. David's like, stop meowing at 6:30. But he's up late, but stays up late too. Up late. Wakes up late. All that. Anyway, I like the idea of going to bed early and waking up early. I like that idea. I don't necessarily do that when I'm around David that much, but yes, it's a new meaning of Amber Alert. Amber wakes us up. Had to make sure she had all of her food. So I fed her. Woke up at like 7 and went and fed her. And so starting next week when I get back to school, I'll make sure I give her her food before I head out the door. Oh, Edinburgh in Scotland did have 3.3 tons of fireworks. My goodness, that's a lot. CBD oil is definitely helping Amber.
Yeah.
Helps her wake up really early. No, just kidding about that. Well, maybe. I have got to move. David has a Fox video on something. All right.
Helps you wake up early. Yeah, you're right. That's good.
David laughed at that. She is really. I know. Well, David was like, we've never put her outside, and because she's been an indoor cat all the time we've had her. But David has said, I'll put her in the guest bedroom rather than in our room. I do try to have an open mind. I mean, I don't have brains falling out or anything, but I try to be open-minded. Why do you ask, Joe?
Well, I just used my tactical flashlight.
Yeah, David just used his tactical flashlight.
Yep, it was very good. You can see anything like 100 feet away. It's amazing.
He likes it.
Yeah.
Thank you. An unrelenting dedication to the truth, real truth of things. That's David's dedication. My dedication is probably more to status quo. I am into being open-minded, though. I agree. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open. Have to be open-minded. From the right, it said something about in the new year, don't forget the good news. From the left, a New Year's climate diet. And from the center, what to worry about. Top 6 risks. From the right, don't forget the New Year's good news. About half of us make New Year's resolutions at this time. Most of us end up not fulfilling them. Whether it be losing weight, becoming more organized, getting out of debt. I did help. I did do a little bit of all those things. I did some organization. I went through my mail that I had let stack up since summer. I mean, you know, there's a mail that you usually get rid of. You look for the most important things, but then there's other mail you're like, I'll get to that later. Went through all that. You're wondering about, you've worked hard every day last year and you actually provided a service people can use. Should you not be Times Man of the Year? Yes, you should be. There you go. I don't know why you guys like... Why would you think that? It's SPONHEIM. Here's a resolution that may be easier to keep and help maintain your sanity. Stop letting all the bad news that floods your mobile phone or TV make you forget there's a lot of good news out there that makes a bigger difference for all of us in the long run. Ha! That's pretty funny, Joe. 85% empty space. If we all resolved to let a bit more sunshine into our lives, we would all live in a saner world. You're happy when you don't run out of toilet paper. It's the small things that matter. But of course, if you're living alone, it's like you shouldn't run out of toilet paper. Plan ahead. Daniel Kahneman, who shared a Nobel Prize in economics in 2002, first noted that human nature has saddled us with some baggage. We suffer from negativity bias, which leads us to pay more attention to negative details than positive ones. We also have confirmation bias, which leads us to look at information that reconfirms our negative expectations. In 2014, the Russian news site City Reporter decided to cover only good news and silver linings for an entire day. It lost 2/3 of its normal readership that day. Wow. And there was a place that had the good news that went broke in 16 months. Wow. Out of California. There's an article by science writer Matt Ridley in the British Spectator. I have not read it. We just had the best decade in human history. Seriously. We're living through the greatest improvements in human living standards in history. Extreme poverty has fallen to below 10% of the world's population for the first time. It was 60% when that writer was born. Global inequality has been plunging as Africa and Asia experience faster economic growth in Europe and North America. Child mortality has fallen to record low levels. Famine virtually went extinct. Malaria, polio, heart disease, all are in decline. That is so great. Oh, I like that final dream. A mind is a biological quantum computer. Sunshine literally makes you feel better. If you can't get sunshine, David bought me this thing a couple of years ago, and it's a daylight light bulb. Oh. And that is really good for people that have if you're feeling sad or you have that seasonal affective disorder, I highly recommend that light bulb. Did Greta Thunberg sail across the ocean? I think so. David doesn't have one of those. Do you, 899? Do you have an ankle monitor? David's never broken a law, so. Live each day as if it's your last. I like that. Great forces are on the move in the world. Many nations are using less water, fewer minerals, and less land, even as they make more of everything. Thanks to better irrigation and technology, we use 65% less land to produce the same amount of food we did 50 years ago. Your personal constitution. What's that? I know. I think she just kept sailing to different countries. I just finally downloaded Facebook on my phone. I know, so many, it's so true. We've grown up hearing doomsayers say, we're running out of energy. But with the shale oil revolution and the explosion of renewable energy, U.S. is at the edge of being a net energy exporter rather than importer. That's pretty cool. How dare you? It's pretty cool what we're doing. U.S. carbon emissions actually declined in the last decade. Natural gas emissions natural gas emits half as much carbon as coal, and the U.S. Energy Information Administration points out it was the largest source, or about 35% of U.S. electricity in 2018. Coal was up 45% in 2010, and it dropped to 25% in 2019. Might drop to 22% in 2020. You like the fact that the economy is good? McDonald's is even offering bonuses to hire people. Wow. And Chick-fil-A is paying $13 an hour to start. Hello, Bob. I am so thankful for this AI babysitter, for you specifically, Cranky Beans. Oh, so there's a book called The Rational Optimists. That was nice. Thank you, John Fund. Starting wage in Santa Clara County in California is now $16.05 an hour. It's the law, it's a living wage. How do they determine what a living wage is? How do they determine that? Because I've often said that a living wage isn't necessarily about a minimum wage. It's also about the cost of living. How do they take that into account? You're rarely here. Well, I'm glad you decided to join us on New Year's Day. Thank you. I agree with that. Party affiliation does not mean a lot. Today, 594. That's why I'm third party or independent. Things to worry about in 2020. 2020 elections, Brexit, North Korean defiance, the Great Unraveling. A bifurcated world. US and China. Gray Swan, a China reckoning world financial crisis. A simultaneous slowdown in the three economic centers in the US-China decoupling could catapult the world economy into another deep economic crisis. So much worry, Robert Manning. Rent for a 2-bedroom apartment there is about $2,500 a month. Wow. And you're glad because you make money renting out houses. You must have gotten in at the right time. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford property to be able to rent out houses. That is one thing, if you're paying rent, if you could. I don't have a mortgage, thankfully. But I mean, if you're paying rent and you can afford a mortgage for the amount that you're paying rent, I would probably advise to do a mortgage, but I know it would be good to buy a camper. Why don't you buy a camper first, Tiddly D? If David didn't stare at the computer every night, what would life be like? Well, we'd probably stare into each other's eyes. And then he would talk to me about how much the world sucks. And so I'm like, hey, you can turn and talk into the camera for that long rather than telling me. You think David would use that time to build a tiny house and rent it out? I'm not so sure. A $500,000 camper, what, it turns into a houseboat? Hello, Wong Guang. Your workouts, you're still celebrating, and your workouts. You want our address so you can send David flowers and chocolates? I'll just go, what do you think, Bob? That is very cool, Tiddly D. Yeah, for some people, that was their life, 968. Other people that couldn't manage to do that, they're the ones that pay Bob rent. And you're right, it's not the same for everybody. Hello, Mad Dog. David wanted you to know that he used his tactical flashlight this evening and was very surprised that you could see so far with it. And Bob wants you to know that he thinks of you as an American hero. At 968, I wish you the best of luck in saving your pennies. I agree with Tiddly D to do good service for people. That's the best thing. Oh, and hello, my cat Fluffy. You sent me a link? Oh, and I am. Thank you. Tara wins. Amphibious motor coach. My goodness. I can see why it's at $500,000. Thank you. You got some honey, lemons, garlic, and ginger root at the store. You're going to make a wonder drink. Sounds like you're sick. And that will definitely help you. If you're all sick. Ah. You never went on leave, so you used... Wow, that's pretty crazy, Tiddly D. YouTube and you want to keep the bug away.
A little something something. Claims parents should not change their baby's daily. Mother and good friend of comedian Russell Brand recently appeared on this morning TV show, talked about the subject. Lottie talks about how you learn about body autonomy and child's consent when they become a little older, and she feels that instead you should model the behavior from the time of birth. She states that you should let your child know that you'll be changing their diaper and let them be aware of their body, and that if their body is not yours. So tell your 1-year-old, this is your choice, but I'm doing it for you. Wow. That's kind of amazing.
Wow.
Political correctness gone awry. Control everyone. That's crazy. You know, I was telling Sarah earlier today that in the 60s, people were really kind of evolving, except, of course, the people that became the Trump supporters today. Those were the jarheads that wanted the Vietnam War to continue. But back in the 60s, people were very accepting of each other, including homosexuality and transgenderism. It really, you'd be surprised. And now we're being forced to do that. The Democrats want to impose their free will on our free will and tell us what to do, which is amazing. It denies our individual freedom, guaranteed to us by the 60s. Yes. Freedom is... So I guess we're just going to check out is pushing us to the farthest end of
That was a long time ago.
The spectrum, yeah. Tumbleweeds out there in Tumblegeddon. Route 240.
Oh my God,
Wow.
that's a lot of tumbleweed. Okay, I'll let you do that.
We're getting... So I hope that doesn't happen.
We'll
Enjoy.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I am going to enjoy that.
Enjoy, yeah. Well, thanks for coming in, everyone. We can begin to piece together 2020 from a fresh perspective. There's a lot to look at. Amazon is running a secret New Year's sale. So secret, I don't even know about it. For Prime members, Twitch, They don't want to get good deals. The best just for Prime deals. Bluetooth wireless earbuds. I wouldn't use Bluetooth. Now $8.47. Save $11. Noonware's Spiralizer Vegetable Slicer. Luke Mond. I'm not going to advertise all these things here. But yeah, suffice to say, you're going to save quite a bit of money. Contemporary Modern Circles Multi-Area Rug. Now $316. Save $682. This sounds like a Persian rug deal. Yeah, Persian rug stores are funny. They open up and they close immediately. They have closing out sales going on. As soon as they open, they start, we're closing. Good value. Look at that. The $999 carpet for $316. Yeah, so I guess having Prime accounts, and a lot of people do now, will save you some big money. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, ooh. Okay, we've got, right. Apparently I lost that story I just had. Oh, here it is. Tumblegeddon. Washington State is dealing with tumbleweeds. Small tumbleweed problem. Let's take a look. Tumblegeddon. After 10 hours of being closed last night on New Year's Eve, it was opened finally. They have to deal with this incredible buildup of tumbleweeds. Okay, thanks for that story. Next. I think time just stopped as of information about Trump spiraling forward. Aside from new impeachment charges coming, articles of impeachment will be filed again, noted over missing Trump-Putin meeting notes. So apparently Trump wanted to get rid of the notes he had that are missing of a Trump meeting he first had with Putin. And now the judge is saying, no, these notes are still admissible and they'll be put into play. So if the notes reveal that Donald Trump is doing whatever Putin tells him to do, which is why Donald Trump tried to get rid of those notes, possibly, this will get to the bottom of what's really going on. And if that comes to light, this could be huge in the coming weeks. Another story, impeachment vote undercut. Yeah, this is Donald McGahn, the guy who said that Donald Trump said he wanted to fire Mueller 5 times, which is obstruction of justice. And Donald Trump doesn't want this guy to testify. So we're going to see if this guy testifies. If he does, this could be very damning for the president. Also, if the trial stage of the Senate goes forward and Mitch McConnell doesn't get his way, because there are a lot of standouts that are, Susan Collins is not agreeing with Mitch McConnell. A lot of people are standing up against Mitch McConnell on this idea of just putting this away. They want a trial, and I don't blame them because that's what the Constitution requires. But if this guy testifies that Trump was trying to fire Mueller 5 times, that could be, curtains for Trump, because that's obstruction of justice, unequivocal. We've been over that in 2019. We don't have to talk about that too much here. All right. Yeah, well, I don't think the U.S. is going to break into several separate territories, but if we broke up California, Sacramento and below would vote a certain way. That may change the dynamic for California. That's one idea. The guy actually doing what I'm doing or ever work, it's really the only logical conclusion, somewhere in the middle, is that we would be able to survive politically as a nation. So finding common ground is really what a centrist movement is all about. I think, the states would be very friendly with each other. Trump says he welcomes Senate impeachment trial, as Giuliani says he'd testify. Giuliani loves to talk, and every time he does, I guarantee Giuliani will get caught in his own words. I guarantee it. But he just, like Trump, likes to lie incessantly and get away with statements that they pull out. But I will admire Giuliani. They don't have anything. The longer they're paying attention from your real guilt, too. Yeah. We have a standing rule that we don't allow Trump supporters here or Democrats. Yeah, a trial sounds reasonable, yeah. And even the Republicans who are knowledgeable of trials and know that Trump should at least face his accusers, like Donald McGahn. Yeah, bring it. This guy could definitely testify, though, and make it very hard for Trump to deny he tried to obstruct justice by firing Mueller. Trump was told by John Kelly, stop doing this. You're engaging in impeachable offenses. He was told by H.R. McMaster and others. He's told by Rex Tillerson to stop doing this, but Trump just turned around and said, no, you're fired. You're fired. You're all fired. Giuliani says he testified at Trump's Senate trial and adds, I'd love to try the case. Well, you should. You go, dude. Or whatever you are. You go, girl. Maybe he could dress up as a transsexual or something during his trial stage. Giuliani loves to do dress up, you know. That would be great. You go, girl. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of the lies and deceit coming out of the Trump administration. I mean, they're dealing with mobsters. They were trying to solicit information from Zelensky in trade for $400 million. He's an open-minded person, A
woman that looks like that. I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh.
Well, I can. Yeah, I can definitely tell you didn't try. So, what are we going to do with Hiawatha Warren? Is she going to win the nomination for the Democratic Party? Wow. She's from the tribe Dances with Soros, the manipulator. And being a puppet of Soros, and Soros controlling other politicians like Barack Obama. Now Barack Obama endorses Hiawatha Warren. It's like two liars who endorse each other, you know? Well, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, he's been caught lying many times.
What's your question?
How long have you been with Barack Obama?
We been married? 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So, Michael, 20-something years and a decade are virtually the same, are they? Sorry, but you never got married. You're a man, and you never gave birth to any children.
What the fuck?
Mark is doing something weird to the signal. Yeah, hold on, please. Wow. We're having some problems with our Vaughn transmission. We're being hit pretty hard over there. Okay, we're just going to go back on. Oh. Hit pretty hard. Yeah, part of the problem is we're being attacked at the source. Yep. This should help. No, won't help. Okay, we are being DDoSed very hard. DDoS, DDoS, do. I unbanned Mad Dog. He's fine. He can come into the show. Your Indian name is Kiss My Ass. Wow. Hiawatha Warren unbanned everybody. Yeah, it's true. Drunk, because I did not encourage drinking. Yeah. So we had a couple good things last night. Oh yeah, this animation came into play. You thought Trump had control of the government? Wow. Boy, were you deceived. Yeah, I hear you. Mr. Trump, you will do as we say or we use sex tape against you. Very simple. We have inflation because the government is living too well. Okay. People are living too well. in my steed. Will you eat the lucky pork and black? No, I don't eat anything on New Year's Eve or day. I'm fasting. It's kind of like Ramadan, but it's not. I agree. Well, we get a lot of Trump supporters in here, and as hard as I am, I commend you guys for hanging in there with me. It's not easy facing the wrath of Dave every night. I know our show keeps skipping off and on because we are being heavily censored. Let's try to fix this. One moment, please. Many people don't know that Ronald Reagan was actually a transgender. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I definitely think that Donald Trump won illegally with Russia's help. Did you hear when Jimmy Carter said that he won illegally? His face was deformed. I mean, he had a massive black eye, 14 stitches. This was Jimmy Carter when he got back after saying that the election was won illegally. It's the weird timing on this. It's like right after he said, I don't want to think that the election was illegal.
I got up this morning at home in Plains getting ready to go to church because right after that we had a family reunion and then we were coming to Nashville. And I fell down and hit my forehead on a sharp edge and had to go to the hospital. And they took 14 stitches in my forehead. And my eye is black, as you noticed. But I had a #1 priority. I'll
definitely think that that eye was more than just hitting his forehead. I mean, look at his eye. There's something unique about this, and that is that the interior portion of the eye was not hit. Now, when you hit the ledge of something like a banister, or it could do that. We just had a power outage, so bear with me. We may still be broadcasting. Wow. We're with 2 brownouts in a row, folks. It could be that his wife smacked him. No, I don't think Rosalind would never hit me. I definitely think that she could have hit me when I was lusting after a Playboy magazine. We're good now. I just had 2 brownouts, so we may have some problems with electricity. Electricity may go out. Bear in mind, we got the high winds out here. I think that was an injury from some guy who smacked him in the head. I think he got hit for saying that statement that the election was illegal. I think somebody from the Illuminati punched him in the face for saying too much. That's what I think. Remember when Harry Reid was running his mouth off and bragging about all the power he had? And then he had that eye injury. Yeah, same kind of thing. Same exact kind of eye injury from Harry Reid, except it was the opposite eye. Well, let's be clear. Harry Reid was hit by a rubber band from a workout gym. That doesn't look like a rubber band to me. That looks like somebody just bashed his head. It's like a beaten up kind of thing. Yeah. So I don't know, man. These guys getting their face bashed in, it doesn't look good. Our presidents, our leaders, you need this. Okay, a standby generator. Oh, I have generators. Yes, I have many generators. That one is one of many. Yeah, the 22 kilowatt for $5,000. I could run off propane on that, I'll bet. Yeah, Generac. Thank you. In the event of a disaster, we have Generac. No, I would just stop broadcasting for the night. Or, drive down to the local coffee shop and do the rest of the show. So old elitists get in fights with hookers all the time. So you think it was a hooker? I don't think Jimmy Carter would have been with a hooker, dude. I think he's more likely to have been beaten up by some thug who said, "Hey, Jimmy, don't say anything bad about Mr. President, okay? Yeah, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse, Mr. Jimmy. And this time you're going to remember us." That's what I think happened to him. Call me old-fashioned. I just don't believe people walk into doorways and have. He didn't hurt this portion of the eye, which is a fist. Ouch. That would actually hurt, and this portion of the eye would be protected. Are you talking to me? Eh? Hey, I moved the presidential tie up to Wednesday. It used to be the Friday tie, but today it is the Wednesday tie. And I sometimes have a tie that looks like this without the faces on it, so I thought this would be a good one to switch off with that one. Wasteful Wednesday. So as GOP's Susan Collins has broken ranks with Moscow Mitch.
We move on now to President Trump's looming Senate impeachment trial and possible cracks within the GOP. Senator Susan Collins becoming the second Republican senator this week to criticize Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for coordinating with the White House, and now saying she's open to calling witnesses. ABC's Kira Phillips in West Palm Beach.
Tonight, she is the latest Republican to break ranks with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
It is inappropriate, in my judgment, for senators on either side of the aisle to prejudge the evidence.
Senator Susan Collins of Maine criticizing McConnell's vow to work in total coordination with the White House in the president's impeachment trial, revealing she is now open to witnesses in the coming proceedings. Collins, now the second senator to be critical of McConnell. She follows Alaska Republican Lisa Murkowski, who says she is disturbed by his comments. On the other side of the aisle, their own potential flip votes to worry about. Senator Doug Jones, a Democrat from Deep Red, Alabama, up for re-election in 2020, is now calling on the Senate to allow witnesses for a full, fair, and complete trial in a Washington Post op-ed. But he's signaled he's open to siding with Republicans in a final vote.
If those dots aren't connected and there are other explanations that I think are consistent with innocence, I will go that way too.
And Kira Phillips is with the president in West Palm Beach. Kira, removal from office requires a 2/3 vote, which is highly unlikely. But there are other important matters that only require a simple majority.
That's right, Whit. Matters as critical as which witnesses would be called to testify could come down to crucial moderates like Collins, Murkowski, and Romney. If they break with their party, Republicans may come up short, failing to hit those 51 votes, even though they hold the majority in the Senate. Whit?
Wow.
All right, Kira, our thanks to you. Thank
you, Kira, and thank you, whoever you are. ABC News. All right. We now go to our reigning moron out there in YouTube land.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep, and those are the kind of tough questions you have to ask nowadays. And I did not mean to imply he was a moron. I meant someone else. Yeah, he's pretty smart. Yeah, he's a smart YouTuber. He made $14 million not saying anything political. And I've been banned on the internet, pretty much. Hey, we've got that amphibious motor coach tonight. Yeah, the one you take on a lake. It's an RV that you can take on a lake. I know, it's pretty cool. I'm going to play that. There's some really interesting RVs being, like houseboats with wheels. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I got to create a new account. Yeah, no, new 12 is not good enough. I've got to create a new one. Yeah, let me see if I can do that over there.
2020. And this is 2020.
2020. Yeah, I think it's important that we at least set up a new run for the week, for the year. I'm going to create a new playlist, yes. Call it New 2001. For the first month of 20, create. All right. Here's the amphibious motorhome.
Our steering is done with a touch of a joystick, and the cockpit speed on the water about 7 knots. Marine features include navigation anchor ramp until the rear wheel, under-mounted sink, Dennis pillow top cover.
Gotta get, that's just the coolest thing ever, isn't it? Yeah, so it's a motorhome on a lake. I just love that. I think that's so cool. Yeah, I've been checking out a lot of people in my area, from around the area actually, come into my area in these really cool Sprinter vehicles. They're economizing by not wasting money on motels, and they have pretty nice features. Yeah, off-road features.
This is the Strada by Outside Van. It is on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, 4x4, 144 wheelbase. Be lowered to create a bench seat.
Cool.
Outside van.
See how they retrofit these
Back
things?
of the van.
It's amazing, and they do. You can actually live in them, and they actually have bathrooms in these things. Yeah, I'll add that to tonight's show too. Wasteful Wednesday deals with, making sure you can live affordably, and that's what this is all about. And these people live in our area in vans. Okay, I'll check that. Wow, thanks very much. That's very cool. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And we got it. And that's a great link. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. Okay, we had another donation to our show here. And we can bring on the cams. We've got the cams over at iVlog now. Thank you very much. Wow. And if you want to come in and cam up in our show, you're welcome to it. We can't even bring you on live. Some people have criticized us for not showing live stuff. I'm more than willing to have a live conversation with somebody in here if you want to go into iVlog. Yeah, iVlog.tv/America's Third Party. No, unless they choose to. That's up to them. So you're gonna cam up, Bob? Bob is in there right away. Hey, Bob. You got your dinner. You're all set. Everything's cooking. Right on. Cool. Thank you, Bob, for coming in. Okay, we sometimes bring mics in, but you don't have a mic on. That's okay. I like the fact that you're an American, Bob, and you're not afraid to show some beef on cam. Yeah. As you know, I support the meat industry. I don't believe we should take and get rid of meat. That's ridiculous. The Beyond Burgers, the Impossible Burgers, they're finding out that they have higher levels of estrogen in them. I find that rather sad that they're putting plant proteins in our diet that could affect men who want to be men, not have estrogen running in their body. Yeah, we don't accept foreign donations, sir. Thank you. And you are a hard worker, Bob. Steak nachos has got to be one of the best American tasting meals ever. Yeah, good for you. And I'm not here to make you feel bad for supporting Trump. I really am not. A lot of you may not get the whole picture like I do. That's okay. You still want to trust your president as he tells you whatever you want to hear. I get it. You want to believe in people, but I don't think he's believable. To Serve Man is on right now in the Twilight Zone Marathon. It's a 24-hour marathon, isn't it? And they're serving man for dinner, right? You're not eating man, are you, Bob? Good. He's eating beef. A natural byproduct of the livestock industry. Yeah, I was telling Sarah about Lavoy Finicum and how I watched his show, 4 years ago now? where he went on YouTube and talked about how he was just an average American. He raised 45 foster children on his ranch, and then he got killed fighting for his right to graze on open territory and not have Bureau of Land Management get in his way. And I don't think we've ever seen any real restitution here for what appears, by all standards, to be a murder of an American hero. That's right. Lavoy Finicum was out there in the ranch when he was fighting for his rights. The Bundy situation was going on. He went on camera, and I watched him that night. And he just simply talked about how he grew up, he raised foster kids on his ranch, and he believed in the rights of his grazing rights and all that, and how BLM didn't have jurisdiction in his area. Then he went out there the next day or so, and I believe it was Oregon State patrol officers killed him. It was like a sabotage of an innocent American man. And I thought, gee, there's America in all its grandeur being shot down by... he's a hero in my mind, truly. And not many people remember Lavoy Finicum. I do. He had a little steak. It was a steak... nacho steak thing. He enjoys that. But yeah, thinking about people like that, Americans that in the past have been killed down in their prime fighting for what they believe in, I thought, wow, Americans, they don't understand that our country can do whatever they want to its people. Our leaders think they represent our people. They think they're empowered because they were voted in a rigged election process with the two parties controlling the system. And they believe that they're entitled to make laws like gun control to force upon the people of, like, Virginia. Now a slightly democratic leading majority in Virginia is pushing for gun control. And a lot of people like the sheriff of Culpeper, Virginia, said he's willing to deputize every single citizen out there to hold on to their weapons. Now that to me is a proud sheriff protecting his Second Amendment rights. And I really believe that we're going to have to face up to the fact that most Americans don't want their guns taken away. We're being heavily DDoSed right now. The New World Order wants to disarm us, and that's why they've got Donald Trump talking about instigating red flag laws. They want to get rid of our guns. They're willing to declare that if somebody's in your family who's having emotional problems and seeking counsel, means that you can't have a gun in your house. Seriously. Because you're skidding the line of losing your rights to bear arms with Donald Trump. Don't forget to pull up your pants when you get up out of the chair. Okay. I see you over there. And he's not back in the 60s. A lot of Trump supporters are like people like that. But you just haven't come around yet to the realization that we got to get out of these wars. We really do. We shouldn't be there. If Trump had been in charge when Nixon was president, we'd still be at war. Yeah, Skype is not safe for me. We talked about Melania Trump being humiliated. And Trump cuts loose with an unpredictable characters at the Mar-a-Lago. Was he out there hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein? Has Donald Trump invited Jeffrey Epstein to the White House yet, now that we know that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive? No, I guess he's not. He had unpredictable characters at Mar-a-Lago. People who want to meet with Donald Trump have to deal with schedulers, scores of aides hovering around the president, and strict security patrol. But at the Trump era, and then there's Alan Dershowitz. Yeah, he loves hanging around those people. Well, Alan Dershowitz likes to hang around anybody with money, like Len Blavatnik, the Russian money guy. He hung around Lindsey Graham, gave him $3 million for re-election. And there's Alan Dershowitz standing right next to the money guy, the Russian money guy. Yeah, Lindsey Graham's getting money from Russia. And so is Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, oligarch money. Yeah, sanctioned oligarch money. Nice, huh? Special. Well, isn't that super special? So anyway, Melania made a faux pas, being she still struggles with the English language. She is really not sure what peace on earth is, so she just said she wants to peace. Yes, she said peace on the world. That's right. She misinterpreted peace on earth and she said peace on the world, which many people interpreted as piss on the world. And Trump immediately corrected her, but isn't that sad? You know, she doesn't know how to really say things in English, being she's one of those, you know, women that became American late in life when her immigration status was falsified due to the fact that she lied about being an architect on her papers. But we're not going to get into that right now. We still believe Melania is a U.S. citizen, kind of. Hey, now if Donald Trump is married to a Russian or a former Soviet Union person, and one of his best friends is Vladimir Putin, and he's surrounded by all these Irish mob people, what's that make him? Let's just say it. She's Russian, okay? Thank you. I wonder if Melania has got a cell phone making phone calls to Vladimir, telling him what's going on. I understand she's very uptight around Vladimir. Whenever they met together, it was like it was very an unnatural feeling. She seems very awkward around Vladimir Putin. I'm not worried about 2020. I'm in it for the long haul. Yeah. I'm getting younger, so I really don't need to worry. A lot of people get older. I've been getting younger, so by the time 2024 rolls around, I'll still be in the race, of course. Yep. Trump will be in a nice place. He'll have a very nice room in one of the hotels in Washington. At Supermax, we'll have him arrested for treason, working and colluding with Russians, like Vladimir Putin. He'll be in a safe place. Well, once he's arrested for his crimes and treasonous acts against his country, he'll be in a nice place. But I think we need to look into Adam Schiff, too, and all the things that he's been up to. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this guy is 100% either. Some people say he's got some strange friends. One of them is a doctor who was just arrested for pedophilia. Notice how I'm coming out strong against both the Democrats and Republicans? That makes me more appealing to both sides. But Trump has a very close relationship with Putin. And Putin knows it. He controls Putin. Excuse me, he controls Trump. That's right. Yeah, he's a worm. Adam Schiff is. You don't like Adam Schiff, do you? You Republicans hate that guy. I am the person who owns all TV networks in my mind, but not on paper. Eventually, TV networks will answer to me. I've essentially undermined their role in American politics because I bypassed them when I found out I was being censored. You see, in 2009, I did a show, and it was right around 2008. I ran my first show, and here I was reaching out to the American people after 50 days, 10 hours a day, talking about building this third party.
Hi, good morning. As you can see, I'm still wearing the shirt I wore last night and yesterday at Blog TV. It's exhilarating to do Blog TV. We've been having an incredible time.
Anyway, that was 11 years ago. And it was that time that I realized that I was being censored heavily by the media. I had put out over 200 press releases, and all of them were ignored. Trump is a draft dodger. Yeah. Trump is a draft dodger. That's right. I'm not a draft dodger. Keep that in mind. But I realized that I wasn't going to get past the censorship unless I did something very bold. So about a week or two after I did this video, I decided to do something very bold. And it worked out for me very well because at first I had over 1,000 hits in one day initially back in the old days of YouTube. And I was completely shut down because I did a blackface impersonation of Barack Obama. And then later in 2014, I did blackface too, which is this one. And in my effort to get noticed, I became an international star, so to speak. And people watch our show because they rely on information they get from our show that they never would have gotten otherwise. And that's one of the reasons why I did the blackface video, that and to impersonate a New World Order puppet president named Barack Obama. No, the military doctors did not investigate Donald Trump's feet. No. They relied on a statement by a doctor, a podiatrist, claiming he had bone spurs. It turns out that the two daughters of that podiatrist recently said in an op-ed piece that their dad always never paid rent for his suite. It was owned by Fred Trump. Now, I have to suggest that Donald Trump does not have any scarring on his feet from bone spur surgery. Anybody who's had bone spurs knows you need surgery to get rid of them. They don't go away on their own. So I would contend that Donald Trump doesn't have any surgery marks whatsoever on his feet, meaning he lied about his status as a person with bone spurs, and no doubt the podiatrist did it because he had free rent provided by Fred Trump. Now, the two daughters said their dad never paid rent for his entire office building when he was a podiatrist. So you tell me if that wasn't payback. Yeah, I don't support nepotism in the face of the law, and Trump is all about nepotism. And you Republicans seem to be okay with that. After you got George W. Bush elected, you thought, oh, well, he's the son of a president. He could get elected. You could do it again and again and again. And you keep thinking you can push nepotism on this country while we're turning the other way. And then you Democrats think you can push some hokey idea that, oh, we have to have our first female president, or we have to have our first black president. Now we have to have our first gay president. I mean, it's like you people vote out of a mindset of, gee, we just want to make sure we're all politically correct instead of voting for the right person. And that's been the problem of the Democratic Party. You see, the Democrats want control. They want to take away our rights. They want to tax and spend and waste every dollar we've got. But the Republicans just want to pad their pockets and make more money for themselves and their cronies. So we got two people that are functioning on a level of greed, trying to lead our country into both different directions. Republicans are headed toward fascism, and the Democrats are headed toward communism. Thanks, Ace Spade. I know that means a lot to you. Hairdos. Ace Spade said he got a VR set for Christmas. So are you saying the porno is designed for the VR set? So you're actually touching the porno person in the video and you're actually reaching out? Really? I bet you're hooked up to that right now. There's a Dave Chappelle show on Marathon TV too. Yeah, well, too bad Dave Chappelle got replaced. That new guy's not funny at all. He kind of sucks. Yeah, Dave Chappelle went to Africa and came back. Didn't even look like him. In fact, his cousin said it's not Dave Chappelle. They don't even recognize their own cousin. Isn't that weird? I know. But the media wants to use this guy, so they got him out there acting like Alex Jones, pretending to be Dave Chappelle. In no way do I consider that guy Dave Chappelle. Let's see if I have a copy of him. Hey, I'm going to pull up a couple of videos I have from the library here. Oh, look at this caption of Joe Biden just loving this little boy and kissing him and touching his hair and smelling this little girl. Yeah. That's something. A presidential candidate behaving that way. It's so strange. What's going on with that guy? And then that little video about him and the roaches. Check this out. This is the new Dave Chappelle, and it doesn't look a bit like the old Dave Chappelle at the left. His different nose, different bridge, different eyes, different setting of the eyes.
He's been actually sensitive to my situation. I know on at least 2 occasions where they protected my own.
That doesn't even sound like Dave Chappelle, man. Dave Chappelle had a much higher voice, too. I don't believe that is Dave Chappelle, man. You know what I'm saying, baby? All right, so I've been doing this since 2008, and I can tell you I'm not getting any older. My entire program was designed to last 500 years. You'll be hard-pressed waiting me out. That was the real Dave Chappelle on the left. Yeah. It is not the same guy. You must be blind. Jeez. Or how about this picture of Michelle Obama jumping out of a hotel room with a large erection? Here's the money shot. Yep. There it is. Let's play it again. Play it again, Sam. There she is. Yep. Something's going on between those legs. Look at that. Oh man, there's something going on there. I know.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
In fact, take a look at this. Here's a candid dance of Michelle dancing with Ellen DeGeneres on her show. And look at the leg between. Oh, look at this. You can't help but see that. Okay, welcome to the first airing of the 2020 Michelle Obama dance video showing her penis. Congratulations, everybody. You made it. Yeah. You have arrived. Okay, we got through that and this. Okay, there's swinging. Something's going on behind the scenes there, and I'm glad I didn't see any graphic details because that would have been freaky. Yeah, just the mere mention of it makes you want to puke.
2020, and
2020. I'm not Barbara Walters, but 2020. You got 1.2 gigawatts of burning energy. You go, dude. So I've been doing a lot of work to try to break through the censorship, and I can tell you it has paid off. People around the world are telling people about this third party and how I've been censored, and that helps a lot. We got a lot of people who completely sold their soul to Russia, and now Trump is one of them. Steven Seagal.
I believe that, I hate to say this, a lot of these mass murders and all this funny stuff that's going on, I believe a lot of this is engineered.
and yet
Wow. Russia Today, the propaganda network, featured Steven Seagal talking about the fake news. Wow. That's kind of confusing, isn't it? Makes you wonder who to support. Steven Seagal is actually talking about the real truth about fake news. But I don't support Russia. But isn't that funny how Russia Today covers a story but nobody else will? Yeah. You can't get any mainstream media channel to talk about false flags or fake news. They refuse. They'd probably tell you that any show out there is called fake news. They'd probably call this fake news, you know? Is this fake news? I don't know. I think it is. A question that everyone asks now. It's no longer something you can accept as the truth. I'm not pitching fake news, but people could perceive it as fake news. Trump considers the shootings, like the one recently in the church, the Parkland shooting, the Marjorie Stoneham Douglas shooting, he considers that real. Yet there's no evidence that something like that happened because there's no CCTV footage of Nicholas Cruz shooting anybody. Okay, they're getting upset that I'm talking about the truth. Hold that thought just for a second. We're going to stop the time and space. let's be clear. I got it. Yeah. Okay, it went to voicemail. If you want to get through and call, feel free to call in at the show time. You are entering the matrix. I'll be glad to take your calls. Number is 707 your ATP. Mr. Anderson. Welcome to the matrix, Mr. Anderson. Welcome to your nightmare. Fox News sucks at news. It's fair and imbalanced. It's unfair and imbalanced. Oh. Randy, go ahead, Randy. Yes, Randy, what can I do for you? No, you're good. Come on in. Okay, Randy got on the block list because he put on a fake voice. We require that you do a real voice when calling in, because your voice is monitored by the NSA, as you know. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Hansen said he looked like me. When did you ever see Chris Hansen tell you? When did Chris Hansen ever say anything to you? And when did he ever mention me? That's the reason why his career is going down the hill. He's not allowed to mention me on his show. You know that that's a career ender for him. I have the chat logs of the group Perverted Justice. He's gone downhill ever since he started mentioning me, apparently. He's not allowed to mention me on his show. Didn't he get the memo from his handlers? All right. Yeah, I know he casts on YouTube, but I doubt he is allowed to mention me. And I don't look a bit like Chris Hansen. We've shown his picture, and let me show you what Chris Hansen looks like right now. Let's take a look. Now, as you can see, I'm much older than Chris Hansen, but he looks older than me. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hansen. Now, you tell me I look like this. No, I don't look a bit like him. We don't resemble each other at all.
I think you have to.
Okay.
Wow. I'm glad I don't drink any beer, so I don't know what slamming beer is. You've had less than 10 beers in all of 2019. That's good. And then 2 in 2020. No, I'm just teasing you. All right, sorry. I apologize. All right. It's all good. Whatever you want to do with your life is good. Good by me. Sarah, tell David what? I'm not going to tell David that. David could be president in his lifetime. I was just reading like some, I guess maybe it's a UK tabloid that was like, Melania Trump was put in her place or something, humiliated Donald corrected her after an embarrassing New Year's blunder. How is it a blunder? She wanted peace on the world. Peace on earth. Me 778? I don't know. Tell me, what the heck is that? Did our Periscope show go down, I wonder? Because now it's just showing some kind of... Okay, good. It was showing some kind of Melania video. I thought that was very weird. Or Michelle video. Which David really seems to enjoy showing those things. I don't. Yes, peace to you. You meant for 2020. It is 2020. It's pretty crazy. Pretty good. Pretty amazing. I liked this, I guess it was a Fox News comment article about a good New Year's resolution. Don't forget good news. I actually like that. I do think
try to remember good news.
Yeah, I think it's good to focus on good news, especially when we have all this. There's always negative news perpetrating.
Mm-hmm. So tomorrow we're going to make beef enchiladas. Sarah and I, or I will, or whatever.
It's already Thursday.
I know. Tomorrow.
What happened to the week? It's just like blink and it'll be over. It'll be Monday. Part of me is okay with that though. Because I do I won't mind going back to work. But it does seem like it. At first I was like, man, that's going to be a long 2 weeks. And then it was like, wait, what day is it? Where did that day go? And anyway, her nephew's being adopted. Good. Oh, no. I'm not adopting anyone. Sorry. Your nephew should be adopted by you, Real Man's Pilot. I will go back to work on Monday, yeah. You went to a party that was supposed to be non-alcohol, but you think the punch was spiked because you were feeling funky? Well, you could hire an au pair to raise your nephew. You could still adopt your nephew and then have an au pair look after him when you're busy flying Real Man on business trips. Okay. Oh, wow. Sorry you had to work all day. What were you doing today on New Year's Day? Working. Were you doing like the Pasadena Rose Parade or something? UNICEF estimates 400,000 babies will be born today. I know. It does seem like that. If you don't blink, another decade will go by. Oh, laying carpet, hanging blinds and curtains in a rental house. That's a lot of work. Hopefully it'll all be ready to rent out in February 1st or earlier. Maybe it'll be someone's New Year's resolution. They want to move out of their parents' house and they'll rent from you. You love someone, a possibility you never thought about. Oh, you're talking to I Love Fries. That's so weird. Okay. Yes, room service. Pretty much what I did, except I did organize my paperwork. Then I'm going to work a little bit on David's paperwork tomorrow. I don't think he's really an aftershave person, Money Grip. Well, that's good. Curtains are good. Hopefully, do you find the renters take care of their curtains? Wow. I don't know. Is there a way to fix those faux wooden blinds if a kid breaks one in the middle? I don't know. There's a new law on mini blinds, no strings, so that the kids are protected and pets, and the new blinds cost 3 times more than the ones with strings. Wow. And that law went into effect at the end of 2018. I wonder about those ones where you can just pull them, or just pull them down, rather. You know, blinds that you can just pull across. The strings, I guess, would be inside, or I don't know, or they'd run along a train. They could run along a track and they could retract into themselves, roll into themselves. Your dog will be 9 years tomorrow. Oh, that's so cool. My cat's like 16. No, Xenu. I think online he says all kinds of things to you that he says all kinds of things online. All the time. I always wondered about, I went to stay at the Sheridan last year for a little bit, and I wondered about getting like blackout blinds, but I wondered if there's ones that, oh, there you go. $177. $180. That's pretty cool. I wonder, video, let me see the video of it. Yeah, the room dimming and then blackout, they're thicker and they cost a lot more, it seems. David does not have, well, yes, he has a fish pond and it has fish in the fish pond. Oh, yes, there, you wish you had doors like Star Trek that opened when you got close. I just like the fact, like, I found out pocket doors, they slide into the wall like Star Trek. I was pretty impressed with that. But being able to sense your approach, that would be pretty interesting. Never did Apex, never did. Wow. Yeah. Catnip would be, you would like catnip to be legal in every state, and cats allowed to be with our humans in nursing homes, hospices, and hospitals, and every office and store would have a resident cat, which would help humans cope with the stress of having to work to earn money for cat food, except for the fact that some people are allergic to cats. So what about the blinds that come down? Like, what do you do instead of those? Do you do like a blackout blind? What do you do for that? Bob feeds 6 cats on his property every day and 2 raccoons. Yeah, David just came in here, I love. I think it is. Oh, 1 skunk. Yeah, skunks, they're the ones that sometimes eat the cat food. Oh, you have blinds in your door that are actually embedded in the glass? Wow. That's pretty high tech there, room service. I don't think he does that, 518. Oh, Mr. Bill had 3 baby skunks as pets. They're encased in glass, but you can close the blinds. That's pretty amazing. What is that, Canadian? You raised the 3 baby skunks for 2 years and then you let them go free. That's good. Oh, I totally loved the days when I used to do a Twilight Zone marathon. Yeah, that's true. They don't get dust on them, right? The blinds encased in glass don't get dust on them. Aw. There's some fancy automatic blinds, but like car windows, if problems occur, you can fix them yourself, or you can't fix them yourself. I'll say this, David and I are comfortable with each other. Okay, sorry, Benjamin, I did not. What's up, Rock Party? Long time viewer, first time typer. Watcher here. This may seem a little weird, but you definitely seem knowledgeable about this stuff. I don't know if you're still in the room. What's your onion on pork rinds or opinion? My grandpappy used to make a mean pork rind with his mean garlic pineapple sauce. She died though, but I still have some in my freezer. They're really good and make me really happy when I have them. I should write, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. But seriously, pork rinds are fattening and aren't healthy for you. All right. Somewhat, Zeno, yeah. $295 advises I Love Fries to call the cops that you shouldn't be asking to talk to David when you think someone might be in your house. We talk about accepting people and everybody having their own stories, you know? You just heard 2 beeps. Oh, was it my microwave? Was it on my end through the computer? Or was it 2 beeps in your house? Were they at David's house? He might have been cooking something in the microwave and it might have beeped. You love when your coworkers had a pig roast, but you couldn't harm a pig. But if somebody else killed the pig, you'd eat it. Every year, our town has a pig roast to help support the homeless, or yeah, it's called in our area. Yeah, that's, see that beep 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 beep, that was our microwave. That just beeped. You're doing a Greek Easter with a whole lamb? Wow. Yeah, I just heard 5 beeps from our microwave. I hear it's really...
I got everything braced against it, and it's still very problematic.
You're back on track?
All kinds of strange people are trying to hook up with Trump now. He's got all kinds of weird people coming to visit him at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
It's Orange County is really windy. It's raining. Icicles in Orange County, California. That's weird. All right. So I guess we've finished up most of our 2020 wrap-up session. We can move on to 2021 now. I can't wait till 2021, you know? It's been such a long year so far.
Oh, you're funny.
Sarah has the mic.
Well, I'm near the mic, but David can do his own talking.
Apex says, David, he's gay. Oh, wow. That's good. Thanks for sharing your views. Why is that important to Sarah, exactly? Not raining in LA. Don't buy it. Oh, it's not raining in LA. Okay. We should just feature a section of our show called Fake News and just talk about things that don't really add up.
Some sheriffs force their inmates into medical debt. Wow.
Wow. Somebody's forcing what?
Inmates into medical debt because I guess they have the doctors on there, but they actually charge the inmates to go to see the doctors or something.
Bob, do you spray your dogs with anti-flea medication like pesticides? Are you spraying your dogs with pesticides, Bob? Are you a big supporter of flea tick treatments? This is a leap year, yeah. Oh, you buy NexGard? Is that safe? Is that a pesticide? Oh, he's going to go get it. He's going to go pick it up out of the shelf.
Yeah, it's a pesticide.
Oh, it's a NexGard is a pesticide, right?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Let me ask AI if it is. Seresto, large dog. Okay. Okay, let's ask the AI. I'm going to the Cool Rock Party, or the coolrock.com site. Our flagship AI system is up and running.
I guess is it on like the Sci-Fi Channel?
Here's our AI button right here. Chat with AI. Let me ask, is NexGard a pesticide? Custom prompt. Thank you. Okay, it's chatting. Is NexGard a pesticide? Let's take a look. Thank you. Despite talking up its superior new chemistry, Neutrogena, along with DuPont and Allergen, it's not even mentioned there. Frontline. Oh, it's Frontline. Yeah. They don't even have anything on that. So Frontline doesn't want anyone to know it's actually a pesticide. Okay. I have a question. Sarah, you seem like you're ready for early bedtime. You've been busy all day. Okay, let's see if this answers it. It doesn't even know what Frontline is. So I'm assuming it is. At least 15 farmer sites worldwide carry on spraying pesticides like Roundup herbicide. Wow. Interesting. Thanks for telling me. Sarah, have a good evening. Enjoy your 2020 New Year's Day celebration.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a little while. But get some sleep. If your door is sleepy time, go to bed, you know. So Celeste is a flea collar. You know, I've just been hesitant, Bob, to lose.
Your door is sleepy time, go to bed, you know. So Celeste is a flea collar. You know, I've just been hesitant, Bob, to lose. Your door is sleepy time, go to bed, you know. So Celeste is a flea collar. You know, I've just been hesitant, Bob, to lose.
Okay, we're getting a little bleach back from his mic, but I think it's probably best not to dip your dogs too much. I think the flea collar is probably safer. Yeah, he's a happy dog because he doesn't have to itch and bite those fleas. But the dips, I've always heard, are not good for your dogs. Every dog I've ever known that gets dipped all the time gets, you know, liver problems at 10 years old. I know he's a happy dog. He doesn't want to be scratching. That's good. I think the flea collar is safer than the dips myself. Yeah. Dippity-doo-dah, dippity-day. Hello, David. Did Sarah tell you the good news? What? I'm not adopting your nephew. No, that's not true. It's purged. I'm not adopting any child. Thank you. The flea collar lasts nearly a year. I think that's your best bet, Bob. I wouldn't do the dips. I had a neighbor that gave his dog a dip twice a year. Dog died of liver disease at 9 years. Bob has not gained 100 pounds, maybe a few extra here and there from eating that steak nachos. But other than that, he's maintaining his fit status. You never dip the dogs, thank goodness. I don't have hair pieces. This is my real hair. As you can see by my hair being pulled, I'm pulling on my roots. It just so happens it's perfect. Perfect hair is the key. I'm working on my music over at Cool Rock, so you'll have to excuse me as I play my organ. We'll be playing with my organ today. I do not look like Wally George. Wally George did not look nearly as good as I do. You like my hair? I know, and it's rare to have blonde hair in this day and age with pesticides and chemicals spraying through your head. But I live in a completely sealed, controlled environment, far beneath the earth. Would you like to see my home? Be kind of trippy if a person really was living underground. Mozart, you didn't miss him. There wasn't much to miss. Here's those directed energy weapon planes that Lockheed Martin developed. This focused energy weapon can light fires near 3,000 degrees and melt steel. How about them apples, huh? We are being now DDoSed. It seems that we have a direct correlation between telling the truth and the DDoS attacks on our show. Every time I tell the truth, the DDoS effects kick in almost immediately, and my metrics show that I'm telling the truth because I get DDoSed. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing? Well, these directed energy weapons have been instrumental in destroying properties in California, and nobody's ever questioned where the starting of the fires occurred. No one ever found out where the arsonists were. So isn't it strange that they never named the arsonists? We are being verified. Truth is coming in. The more we are DDoS, the more truth we have reached. So we're on to the truth right now, according to the DDoS effect. They burned those houses in California, but they never explained why. Yes, Pitoro, that's true. The avocado shampoo by Garnier is very cool. I use it as a cream rinse. PG&E was not blamed officially. They were referenced as to possibly causing a few fires, but not all of the fires came from electrical fires, Bob. That can't be proven. You could claim that any number of things could have caused them, but I'm going to go out there on a limb and say, nah, it was some sort of a directed energy weapon. Because look at how the fires burned in California. Look at this. That's not an electrical fire. That's ridiculous. None of the fires burned the woods, just the houses that the directed energy weapon was pointed at. You see what I'm saying? They wanted more homeless people. You're right. I am the voice of reason. Bob doesn't have a voice of reason. Don't ask him his thoughts on chemtrails. He doesn't think they exist. He thinks they're contrails. Bob is a typical guy who believes that contrails are being dumped in the sky. It's just condensation in his mind. Yeah. Nothing to worry about there. When they say the flu is an airborne virus, they're not kidding. We could be hit by vaccines or viruses. God knows what they're dumping on our heads, you know? The Italians did a deep forensic analysis of the air that comes off of these chemicals. And they found high levels of barium, strontium, selenium, and aluminum. It turns out those are the chemicals that are used to start fires. Isn't that interesting? So when they found high concentrations of barium and aluminum in California, those fires took place, and all of a sudden, people were found dead right in their cars. Tires literally, not only the tires melted, but the axles melted as well. Alloy wheels melted. These happen to be pictures of the fires in Greece. Remember when the European Union wouldn't offer, the European Central Bank would? That was some day, wasn't it? But why are the trees not touched? Why do these fires run rampantly through the cars? Cars are not nearly as flammable as trees. So you have to wonder what's going on. Well, it turns out directed energy weapons and chemtrails work in tandem to create the effect of what appears to be a DEW. Look at that. All those poor people in Greece were just burned in their cars. And hardly a single tree was ever lit on fire. We are being censored heavily. This means we are telling the truth. The harder the censor comes in, the more active. Chemtrails are actual willful attempts by our government to modify the weather. And if you listen to people like, Greta, you'd think that somehow she was talking about weather, helping the environment, but she never mentions chemtrails. She never mentions weather modification. All she talks about is how she wants to help the banks.
It is, the money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world.
Yeah, okay. Sure. So the banks are going to save us? You mean the people that have been profiting from the desecration of this beautiful planet, they're going to save us? Oh yeah, they're going to save you all right. They're already planning on putting you in a FEMA camp and incinerating you. DDoS, come in. We are telling the truth. Wow. So we can always tell if it's fake news if the DDoS starts. I'm onto something every time I do. I'm not the person talking about this. This happened, it's appeared on Fox News ahead of one of the fires recently. Watch this.
So when you see the movies or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck engine, and the Athena within seconds was able to beam right in there, heat the whole thing up, and burn through the engine of this vehicle. So imagine if you were in that vehicle, all of a sudden, this hole would start appearing in your engine.
It would just start appearing, and then your leg would be burning off, and your whole body would be boiling like a burning ember. What the hell was she laughing about? That was a Fox News correspondent. Actually, sulfur does not provide much to the ground the growth. You know how? Let me explain. Look at the rainforests of the Amazon, the Brazilian rainforests, and how they're being desecrated by slash and burn methods that farmers are using. They're not bringing back the earth to make it greener. Do you realize that the earth that grows the rainforest in the Amazon is only about a foot deep? We are ruining the only chance those plants will ever have of growing by burning them down. So this idea that it's better to have a burning forest, Dave, than a nice fresh green forest is absurd. If you have any questions about chemtrails, I want you to go to my website, chemtrailparty.com. Yeah, they're laughing at people dying at the Fox News because they're breathing the chemtrails. We have confirmation that everything I'm saying is correct. The DDoSs are coming in. Every time we see the drop frame window over here, we can see accurate statements. I'll put this on the screen for all of you to look at. This will tell you the more drop frames come in, the more likely we're hitting the truth. Okay, so I come up with a website that I'm going to change to 2020. I haven't yet to do that. But chemtrailparty.com has this discussion laid out for you very simply. Number one, it's toxic. There's no peer-reviewed studies suggesting that chemtrails are good for you, okay? Aluminum and barium are not the required elements in our body, all right? Unless you're having a barium enema. In that case, yeah, more power to you. Yes. The oxygen it depletes when you block the sunlight creates, this is confirmation, yes, we have confirmation. Drop frames detected. See, whenever that pops up, drop frames detected, that means that we are telling the truth. That we are telling the truth right now, folks. So the more you see this screen on the screen, the more likely we're being attacked. The more likely we're telling the truth. It's used in weather warfare. Areas of the world like Australia, they're being hit pretty hard with an economic hit, drying out evaporation of their entire biosphere. You're seeing flash fires going on. They may be started by directed energy weapons in Australia. We don't know. You gonna take a bong hit? Okay, go ahead. It's chemtrails plus the 5G. They're doing all kinds of things, but they can use the 5G network combined to attack the chemtrails, which then ignite the areas. That's just one theory. But all these factors combined, and the most important is we're killing off trees that create valuable oxygen. So don't listen to some idiot that says, oh, we should burn all our forests so it makes it fresh. See what I'm telling? Look at this, drop frames detected. This is censorship right in your eyes right now, folks. Look at this. They are blocking, again, more censorship. Look at this, right, real time right now. They are blocking the oxygen from forming when they burn trees down. Trees are the number one thing we need on this planet. Now it should be a major effort for our nation and every other nation to plant more trees. And China, ironically, has been planting more trees. But they've been doing more organ harvesting too. So that's a problem. But if you want to go to chemtrailparty.com, I've got a link page for you. Go to the link button up here. Click that, and it'll take you to all kinds of great links about this. No, that's a DDoS attack. Detected frame loss. No. Not at all. We're being attacked on Vaughn. Our signal is being dumped out periodically. Yeah. Nice try, though. Where have you been, Slow Modes? Yeah, didn't they tell you to stay at the FBI until next year? Oh, I guess it is next year. Slow Modes thinks that he's not detected as an FBI agent. It's pretty funny. This guy's head looks like a foot. Wow. What guy is that? You've been in Chicago, I was wondering. Yeah. That a meeting at the FBI convention? The cybersecurity conference, right, of course. Chicago 2019. Were you there on business or pleasure? Oh, that was May 9th? Okay, that was not the cybersecurity event. No, sorry, wrong one. They didn't want controlled burns because the ash ruined their pools. No, controlled burns never help never help forests come back at all. It does prevent large sweeps of fires crossing large areas. It's in theory to have certain areas burned like a stripe across the forest to create a barrier, a fire break. Thank you for being on cam, by the way, Bob. Take care, man. I rely on people like you to put yourself on camera to show you're real. I appreciate that, man. Seriously. Well, I still believe that controlled burns is antithetical to the idea of oxygen. Well, I stick to what I know, and I can tell you burning a forest isn't going to help it recover. Unless, of course, it's covered with blight, then maybe. His bow tie is really a camera. Well, thank you. I don't really want to stick to your false information. I purposely didn't finish off my college degree because I didn't want to be indoctrinated into the mindless world that we're living in today. Oh, sorry, I'm playing music on your ear time. Well, I guess that reaches the point where we have to actually ask ourselves, does it really matter that we talk about any of this? You're on camera and still don't look real? Wow. What is that? Some sort of a special effect you're getting on your end? You still think I'm CGI? That's ridiculous. I could never be CGI. I am human, like you. You're still on camera. You don't even look real. I don't even understand what you're saying. Hey, Dave, love from Albania. Okay, we covered the story about Melania getting humiliated for saying peace on earth, except peace on earth, peace on world. She said peace on world. I am procedurally generated based on the demand of the substructure of the system I am currently operating in. I like leftover peas. They're good for, oh yeah, that's good warmed up New Year's Eve food. Right on, man. My primary function is to provide interaction with the human population while it is being inundated with chemicals and slowly turned into mental jellyfish. So if you have any questions about what's happening during this time period where you are being, dusted, for lack of a better word, feel free to ask. Yeah, the Illuminati would love to let you know that you're being dusted and see your reaction. I don't hate President Trump. I think he's just an idiot. The small hands, I was researching this, it is a sign of Down syndrome. And some people believe that Donald Trump had Down syndrome when he was a kid, that his father gave him some eye surgery or something to prevent mild Down syndrome. And, the theory is very viable. The small hands is a common trait in the Down syndrome characteristics. You know him as Donald, but to others, he's just a guy who's struggled with his reading and his writing during the years of his growth. And he didn't really have a clear vision as to what he wanted to do. Well, he knew that if he lied to everybody, he'd become popular. And by lying and telling people what they want to hear, he became more appreciated. And it's a simple combination. If you lie to everybody and ask them for loans, and if you ask for a loan from everybody you lie to, you're going to get rich eventually. Even if your lies are called in and your markers are called in, you just lie to somebody else and borrow from them, kind of like Bernie Madoff did. Yeah, you like his childish insults. That's what really bothers me. To think that this guy, who clearly is suffering from some sort of a mental disorder, is considered a brilliant man by people like you, is more like listening to Dan Rather, answer the question, what's the frequency, Kenneth? Mr. Biscuit does not qualify. Thank you. So as you can see from his facial expressions and behavior, that he has clearly had some issues with his, but I think he's compensated very well, and his dad paid a lot of money for that eye surgery when he was young. It's perfectly okay for our president to have Down syndrome. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I'm not in any way trying to imply that it's bad to have Down syndrome. Yeah, that's right. It's okay. He doesn't have, yeah. I intentionally took your words out of context. No, you just said, I can see that, best president ever, and listen to his childish insults. So you like his childish insults, and you call him the best president ever. It's just amazing to me how brain dead you are.
This is 2020.
20. We're now in 2020. Hey, term limits. There you go. Boy, that's something that Republicans and Democrats will never pitch. Why Pete Buttigieg enrages the young left. He's not Mayor Pete anymore. His successor has been sworn in. Now Pete Buttigieg has to look around his shoulder to see who's coming up from behind. Thanks for knocking that out, Scissor Fight. Can't believe it. I can't even get that article on Pete Buttigieg. Hey, Illinois just legalized marijuana officially. So I can't wait till they start, opening up recreational stores in Chicago. That's going to lower the gang activity, I'm pretty sure. I'd bet money on it, but I'm not a big bettor. The fact that people can have their turf now in Chicago helps them realize, we needed to consolidate the areas a lot of these people were operating in. Otherwise, they don't know what kind of turf they got. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You got to make sure their turf is protected. Kind of like, make sure that Donald Trump does whatever Mr. Putin tells him to